Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 19th. I thought I am late. We're going to turn on Do Not Disturb. We're going to go over to TrendSpider. And ooh, it's a bad day. Ooh, it's a bad day. In the market. What is this doing? Why is this like this? Wah, 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 wah. Live chat. And we're going to do some scans. I'm going to go over to YouTube. You. And then. Ooh. Daddy just got paid. Whoop, whoop. I didn't know that was a lawn guy over there. Wow. Morning, Chris. Live chat. Let's do some scans. Market scanner. Wah, wah. Tesla. Ooh-wee. Netflix. Disney. Simon Property Group. Morning, John. Wow. We had a good day yesterday. Not a good day today. Nothing in my brokerage holdings, so nothing that I currently own. Grayscale, that's awesome. Hey, Grayscale, email me. I don't know if you emailed me or not, but email me. I'll send you the welcome letter that gets you the 4-hour algo and everything. And the email, by the way, is go to Linktree, L-I-N-K. It's down below the link, but it's this this second to last. I need to take Blossom off. Or Blue Sky. I'm not using Blue Sky. Use this this email. It's right there. And email me and let me know because I'll send you the welcome letter. Brother Vaughn in Florida. I lived in St. Augustine. But just email me. You won't find it. You got to email me, and I got to send you the welcome letter. Because I believe there were 4 or 5 people last night, and the rabbit hole is awesome, and you will, when you get the links, you're even going to go further down the rabbit hole. I can tell you most people that get TrendSpider, it is a good 6 months of just, oh my God, I didn't know it was going to do that. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know. And the other thing you can do, by the way, is here, just go sign up for TrendSpider. They're home. No. Where is it? At TrendSpider. Sign up for TrendSpider's YouTube, and if you have the chance, there is a scheduled office hours today, I believe. I believe it's scheduled for today. It should be. I thought there was. I thought it just came up. but I thought they were having one. Maybe they're not, or maybe my ad blocker is blocking it. I don't know. But office hours with Jason are amazing. You're gonna love them. ETFs. Oh, and I have to update this too. Let's see. We're gonna update with Mag S. I think we have this one in this already. Let's see. No, I guess not. Mag S. Yes. And then we're going to go Mag X. And we're going to put this in leveraged ETFs. There we go. Always yes. And Mag Q. And we're going to add that to here. Boom. Buenos dias. Morning, Alcy. Have I told you guys about SMCI? It's trading almost under 800. I mean, it's definitely got that button hook, and the algorithm most likely will get you out today, or it might have gotten you out already. I got to look at the actual chart, but here we go. We're going to go down to all the Tesla TSLR, TSL, and TSLL. TSLR is the 2 times levered daily, and TSLL is the 1.5 levered daily. Interesting. Not crazy, but let's see if any Vanguards crossed up. Nothing. Let's see if Spider Sectors crossed up. Nothing. Let's see if anything on the watch list crossed up. Oh, we got a bunch. APP, ANF, URI, ANET, VRTX, Tesla. That's a Tesla. Do I have it on the watch list? Why do I have it on the watch list? I don't know. Let's see the not owned. On. Why don't I have this one on the official watch list? This should be on the watch list. That should be on the watch list. Fubo. VRTX, Lightspeed, Tesla, Merck. Nope. Okay, not owned. Let's go. We gotta do this before 9:30. Dow, Merck. Morning, Mark. My neighbor actually just asked me if I spoke Spanish, and I do not one bit. Mondelez, VRTX, we have that one. Tesla, okay, let's look at the S&P. Scan. Oh, Disney's. Citibank. Shitty Bank. Shitty Walk. Shitty Bank. That's been solid confirmation. Okay, so morning, Mike. Yes, we'll go to the 4 hour. We'll run this. Look at that run. I mean, that's just, it's a beautiful thing. Let's see about SMCI. Algo does not have you out, but it will. Just knowing that, yes, it will. And we will get back in. SMCI has significant volume levels down here. And NVIDIA, we talked about NVIDIA having this. So it will probably, I think it's going to hit the 800 level, 810, 811. But, I mean, that, if you want to know, remove this segment. That is what's called capitulation. So it's got plenty of spaces down below to catch the falling knife. And that is a significant downward trend on the MACD. Still not significant on the RSI, enough for me to say, oh my God, you've got to get it. Now the algorithm makes you 296%. You're still in the algorithm. So if you wanted to buy in, you are still in the algorithm, but I don't know why you would do that. I probably should. Let me hit mute real quick. I'm going to be right back. Okay. Let me see. Okay. There we go. Let's see. I'm no. Okay, you're listening. Okay, I sent you a text. Okay. Let's look at the Qs, because yesterday we had a good day. Wasn't as good. We're going to have chop. Yeah. Morning, Brendan. Okay. Let me open up. I don't know why. There, you know, when I showed up this morning, it said office hours. There we go. There we go. Share. We're going to copy this. And office hours schedule 319 today. Okay? Okay. There you go. Office hours today with Jason. That's going to be something to what the hell? Look at, I mean, what a thumbnail it picked out for her for that one. Oh, I didn't know Keith Morrison was Matthew Perry's stepdad. Okay. We're going to open up the links now. We're going to click that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a sell the news. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind, Luke, it's going down. If you want to buy it, you're fine. I mean, I don't think long term it hurts you to buy it. But I do think you can get it for a better price. But that's kind of the game of the market is I don't want to time it, but I also don't want to miss it. So I am currently in. Oh, this is what happened. Okay. This is what happened. That's why it was announced. Oh, the Whirlpool one. Okay, this is why it was. Boom, boom. After announcing equity offering. I mean, that was, come on. $2 million shares. Wow. 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 I mean, that changes SMCI right there. 2 million shares. I mean, they only have, we went over this, 45,000 floated for, I mean, that's 5%. Close to 5%. Wow. 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 Okay. Okay. We're going to open up another Seeking Alpha. Okay, this one's a good one too. Ugh. God, there's so many good articles. Put this after energy. It comes before Cloudflare. Okay, we'll put this in. Up at the top. Okay. And we'll go to Alpha Picks. And about okay. Let's go to QQQ. Morning, Anthony. I'm going to hit the start button now. Market is almost open. It's 9:19. Grab that. pull this down here. Okay. And we are going to start recording. Now, Luke, the reason I think NVIDIA is going to drop is nothing more than you can't run up. The valuation is not crazy. It's putting in a nice little level here, but I do think that you come back. I think this might be where you get to. Remember that NVIDIA, morning, Scott. Stocks don't go straight up without coming down. You can't buy it, on the way up without that. That's not normal. Doubling like that in what? 2 months is not normal. And so while the valuation was justified and it's there, just like SMCI, NVIDIA hasn't diluted people. NVIDIA hasn't raised more money. SMCI has, so it's got some stuff. It's a hardware company that sells one-time products. The good news about yesterday is they turned into a software company as well. And so you've got an amazing runway of getting up and running. Doesn't mean it's going to be successful. Just means that for right now, they have the ability to price some stuff. And they're going to get it done. I mean, Luke, I in my mind, I don't think, I think you have a 2-year runway for NVIDIA before AMD and other chip companies actually start to creep into the, hey, we're going to get this over NVIDIA. Right now, it's not, hey, we're going to get AMD over NVIDIA. It's, we can't get an AMD chip, an NVIDIA chip, so we're going to get AMD. It's a secondary offering. But I do think that when it's kind of like electric vehicles. Tesla is so far out in front of anybody with an electric vehicle that they can't, there's nobody even touching them. If you want an electric vehicle, you go and there are people who choose Ford and who choose other electric vehicles. Obviously, they're selling some. But if you're really into electric vehicles and you understand and you don't, it's your only car, you don't go and get a Ford Lightning. You don't go and get a Mustang whatever those things are called. You go and get a Tesla. The charging network is the thing that drives you in. So, as long as Rivian was the only other option, but that charging network was hell. So it's kind of like that. And the problem is that NVIDIA, nobody from a consumer standpoint chooses NVIDIA. You don't go to Amazon Web Services because they have an NVIDIA chip. You don't go to over Google, which has AMD. You don't go to Meta because they've got more NVIDIA chips than AMD. So it's a tough road for them to travel. And that valuation right there and that run is going to bring them back down to some type of level. Now, what's nice is you're putting in this level as something to either currently buy, and if you don't have a position, get into it. I've said it before, just buy it. Just buy it. I mean, don't listen to the naysayers that say, oh my God, it's overvalued. They said that for Tesla. And that was this run. If we look at Tesla and we go to let's go to a weekly. So this entire run, I'm going to pull this out. Remove this segment. This entire run, okay? This was where I bought my Model 3 in September 2018. You were trading at about $18 a share. Okay, I'm going to bring that down to about 18 right there. Over the next 9 months, I lost 34%. That goes to, January. If I just bought, consistently, I'd be making more money. If I just held on to it and gotten it, this was overvalued. That's 20 times your money. Say you put $1,000 into there, that's $20,000. So that's it. Again, even this time, back in 2023 in January, where they said it's overvalued and it's done, even to that one, over 1 year, you're up 51%. So it's just a matter of you can't go up that high without coming back down. HSA Cesar. So that's all it is. It's nothing more. So, but where was the time to get in here? And when were you timing this? And that's why I say it's time to get in. Even today, if you believe that Tesla is the greatest AI story, like ARK Funds, like Dan Niles, a lot of people are saying, if you believe in that, just buy the stock. It's not overvalued. Personally, I don't own this. I own it in XLY. It is getting interesting here. I will tell you, it's getting super interesting. If he's able to continue to sell the Model Y at the rate that he is while raising prices, that's a company that I think is interesting and that you want to own. 173, it got you in today. Yeah, 173.94. I think that's the one. Let me see my scans. It got you in today. So let's go to the Qs. Okay, I'm going to hit recording. Let me make sure she's... Yeah, they're in bed. They're not under the blanket, but they're in bed. Okay. We're going to hit record. Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 19th. Big news. Tomorrow, I will be interviewing Steve Kress from Alpha Picks. You guys know I'm a Seeking Alpha affiliate. There are two things with Seeking Alpha. There is Seeking Alpha Premium, which gets you, this link gets you $50 off. And then there's the Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks is a data-driven portfolio for capital appreciation. Steve is the one who's in charge of this. He's the head of quantitative strategies, 30 years of experience, including running a desk at Morgan Stanley, a quant trading desk at Morgan Stanley. Guy is way too smart to be talking to a douche like me, but he's agreed to it. Fully agreed. But yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up on one of the social networks. If you're an Alpha Picks member, if you've signed up for Alpha Picks, we all know that they have just a tremendous results, 105% versus the S&P at 32%. I will be asking him a bunch of questions. One great question was from Marley on Facebook, and he said, "Hey, with the economy swing, why slowing? Why Royal Caribbean?" I'm going to ask him about how do you pick your stocks? When do you decide to sell a stock? I mean, everything that's out there, but it'll be good for him to kind of say it. Again, Wednesday, I'll be doing that one. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Let me know what you want. There was a lot of talk yesterday about how to go about and sign up for Seeking Alpha's Catalyst email. I said it yesterday in the email that I sent out. The newsletter, it's dailystockpick.substack.com. Simple as that. It's a daily newsletter that is 100% free. It correlates to the podcast. This was the lead thing, Catalyst Watch, Fed rates. It's a very nice, well laid out story that comes out from Seeking Alpha on Fridays. and it sets you up for the week ahead, and it's perfect. And a lot of people ask me, well, how do I get that alert, blah, blah, blah. I haven't figured out how to get the alert for the Catalyst email, but this Wall Street week ahead, you can follow. And I'll include this one. It's in a different format, but so it's not by day, but it includes everything in that Catalyst email. So, they have everything that you need. See the full earnings calendar. March, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Volatility Watch, IPO, investor events, and GTC preview with NVIDIA. So that is something that you can bookmark, that you can actually follow, and it will actually put it in your Seeking Alpha. So if you're a paid Seeking Alpha premium member, you can do that. Biggest movers of the day. There's a bunch. I mean, we'll talk about NVIDIA. We'll talk about all this stuff. National Cinemas surged 18% after the company reported Q4 earnings that surpassed expectations. Fusion Pharmaceuticals surged 94% after the announcement of its acquisition by AstraZeneca. Biggest loser of the day, we talked about it on YouTube Live yesterday. Stone, STNE, this is a Brazilian payments company. They fell 10%. I'm glad I told you guys I wasn't interested in that one. It just didn't interest me. Bitcoin dropped 6%. Bitcoin's tumbling, and MicroStrategy, everything is falling with this. It is an opportunity to get back into this. I don't think this is done. We're back in the situation where it's coming down. Supermicro, we'll talk about it. We'll look at the chart. They announced a proposed underwriting 2 million additional shares. This was, I said, hey, they could dilute you. They could do a split. They decided to dilute another 2 million shares. They have 45 million shares floated. This means they'll float 47 million shares. I still think a split may happen. I don't think that this affects your investment. If you are in SMCI, stay in it. That's what I'm doing in my brokerage account. I'm not getting out. The valuation doesn't make too much. It's not a huge thing. NVIDIA yesterday. NVIDIA, it's slipping as Wall Street commends impressive GTC keynote. Everything about NVIDIA yesterday was impressive. They debuted a new GPU. It's called Blackwell. Launches later this year. That's key. It launches later this year. Now, understand, NVIDIA is not a consumer product. They do have consumer portions, but these GPUs, they're not consumer products. These cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. This Blackwell thing is crazy. It's huge. I mean, it's a major, major difference. I don't know the details of it, and I don't think they've released a whole lot. They haven't released pricing. It is 4 times the current chip processing performance, while being 25 times lower in energy usage. That's enormous. Okay, that's huge. But what was even huger for SMCI, they announced 4 new units that they're going to create with NVIDIA's new chips. Huge. So in my mind, with both of these, you can read this article on NVIDIA. It outlines everything. Announcements aplenty. You can go and look at this stuff. You can go and look at Supermicro, how it was down after losing 7%. It was down as much as 10%. It's coming back a little bit. I wouldn't expect either one of these two to do outstanding today. What goes up must come down. So both of these stock charts, you can see right here. Look at that button hook. It's coming down. The downward momentum on this may come down to 744. If you can get this with an 8 or a 7 handle, you buy it. You just buy it. It's at 908. It was at 870 early morning in pre-market. You just buy it. Now the MACD, super low. It has quickly become an oversold stock. RSI is now at 38. Look at where it was right here, where the stock was trading at 1,000. The RSI was at 93. Did you want to buy it at 1,000 because you could have sold it at 1,200? I mean, again, buying with the RSI down here, understanding that people are selling this one, it makes me feel more comfortable buying it. It's already at 920. This started at 880. So it's coming back. I mean, again, you don't want to jump into this one too fast. if you don't have a position in it, do you buy it at 9.15? Absolutely. In my mind, I think that those 2 million shares make no difference whatsoever. You can see some volume shelves all the way down. The VWAP from when we got in is at 774. That's why I'm saying I think if you just move this VWAP over a little bit, let's move it over to the last time they had earnings. The VWAP all of a sudden comes up to it comes up to 840. That's probably a good volume shelf right there. You're at 915. Again, if you can get this with an 8 or a 7 handle, jump in and get it. If you're sitting there and holding, in my mind, I'm waiting. The algorithm probably will get you out. We'll go over this tomorrow. Probably will get you out during this run. It will get you out today or tomorrow. And then it's just a time of sitting there and waiting. There is clear support level here between 850 and 900. So I have no concern that it's actually going to just slip down. But, again, you do you. NVIDIA, on the other hand, we talked about this one. This one is putting in, I do think there's support levels here between 691 and 744. Algorithm still has you in. This one hasn't come down as quickly. The MACD has come down. It's still not at the oscillator level. The RSI is at 52, so it hasn't entered oversold territory. Now, the algorithm will probably get you out if we trade lower today. If we trade below 900, algorithm will probably get you out. Again, yesterday was an enormous win for NVIDIA. Don't let the stock price fool you. This is setting up to be a much higher stock later this year. Absolutely. In my mind, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that I'm getting into both of these, even higher. But even with that announcement of the equity, most shorted stocks, SMCI is included in here. So it's one of the SMCI outperformed the S&P with shares up over 15% in the last year, making an official entry into the index. It did. Yesterday was, and why was it down? Sell the news. It was down because you sell the news. Maybe there was something about the equity offering that some big, it's only 45 million shares. We talked about this. Most companies that are in the S&P that have that market cap, they're like 500 million shares. So there are only 45 million shares. These guys only, did 2 million more shares. So short interest in the tech firm has increased by 23%, a sign that investor sentiment is improving significantly. Other stocks that have seen the highest value in shares sold short in February: Charter, Oxy, Tractor, Moderna, Royal Caribbean. It's an interesting list. Pepsi went nuts yesterday. Morgan Stanley called out the inflection point for the stock. Pepsi is in the core portfolio. I've said before, I think 170 is probably the capitulation on this. Or I'm sorry, I thought even 165 was the capitulation on this. I wouldn't say buy it right now, but Morgan Stanley seems to think that there's a significantly higher price target in this. Let's see. What's their price target? I forget. Let me see. Let's look at Pepsi. We'll look at the Wall Street version. Average price target 186. Yesterday, Morgan Stanley 190. 190. You're trading at 171. I do own this. This is not something that you buy and think that you're going to make, 15, 40, 20%. This is not a tech stock. This is something, if you drink Pepsi, if you like Diet Pepsi, if you don't like Diet Coke, you buy Pepsi, something like that. Morgan Stanley thinks that the GLP-1 stuff is done. That as simple as that. Energy. I wanted to look at energy because I do think we've reached some pretty good stats on energy. Don't fall asleep on energy. I talked about Exxon and Chevron and others. Exxon's at 112. PXD, which is being bought by Exxon, is at $250. I sold that at like $230. I just didn't think energy had any chance like this. But with China opening up a little bit more and demand coming out, XLE is getting some pretty good stuff. Let's look at. We're going to remove that segment. Let's see. Algorithm got you in at 80. You're at 91. Nice 13% in 55 days. This is the 4-hour algorithm. So it's oversold right now. I want you to look at some names. You know, we talk about MPLX a lot. This was one that I personally own. It's in the core portfolio. $40.27. This has a 9% dividend. You know, we have energy names that we trade. There is a watch list of energy names to trade/own. If you want this watch list, sign up for TrendSpider. You got 15 hours left, $595 for the year. You get this watch list, you get the Bitcoin and crypto watch list, you get the covered calls, plus you get the 4-hour algorithm. So if we go over here to the energy names that we want to trade and own, one of them is Viper Energy, VNOM. This one got a cross up in the algorithm, 36.58. You know, the algorithm makes you 9%. You buy and hold this one, you make 22%. I would not suggest trading a lot of energy on the algorithm. You know, we can look at Marathon Petroleum, Marathon Oil. This one, look at that. 23.18 is the buy. You just crossed. You're getting a golden cross. This is why the names in this energy sector are so good, is because you can take a look at these and just see, you know, which are the ones that we have opportunities in. Which are the ones where the 50-day might be crossing the 200-day? And where can we look? Boyle is up 4%. I mean, this is solid, you know, natural gas. If you bought it at $13.69, you got out with an 11% gain. You're not in yet, but most likely it will get you in here with it up 4%. 14's not crazy. I do think that, you know, this one might have 20 if natural gas continues to go up. But again, the energy names, I want you to keep an eye on those. And if you have TrendSpider, keep an eye on that list, because there's some good opportunities in that list, like I just went over with Marathon and stuff like that. An interesting one here, CrowdStrike and Zscaler. Best positions following healthcare hacks. There's a ton of healthcare hacks. UNH is by far the largest. 80% of U.S. hospitals are being impacted by this. It's a bigger story than I think we're being led on to. Zscaler is one. CrowdStrike is another. If you want either one of these, let's go look at these charts in TrendSpider. Because Zscaler had this nice pullback, and the algorithm got you in at 202. You're at 191 now. I would not buy this one yet, but I would look to see when it gains confirmation. And if it gains confirmation, then you can look at this. Right now, the 50 days moving negative, but you know at some point in time, you have $243 in this stock. So it's not to say that you're going to jump from 202 to 240, but that's a gap sitting up there. That once you get this, if you do get a death cross where the 50-day crosses the 200 and you get a name, cybersecurity isn't going anywhere. The one that everybody likes and the one that the retail crowd likes is CrowdStrike. This is the one that when it dips under 300, you absolutely grab it. It was under 300 back here March 5th. I added to mine. It's capitulating right now around this level. That gap goes down to 298 based on the earnings. It goes down to 298. You gapped up. You've got 298. If you want to buy at 312, if you don't have a position in it, just buy it at 312. Again, you bring it back here to the earnings before, and you've got 291 as the VWAP. You've got a nice volume shelf at 303. You know, say you're going to buy 5 shares of this. That's $1,500. Do you care? 5 shares. 5 shares, the $12 difference that you're waiting for it to go down to 300, that's $60. You're spending $1,500 and you're going to worry about a dinner tab for you and a couple of friends? I mean, come on, just go ahead and buy it. But wait for the confirmation. That's what you want. If you want to use the charts to trade this, but if you want to sit and just buy it, just go ahead and buy it. But if you're going to use the charts and technicals, wait for confirmation. That's all I'm saying is there's opportunities out there that you can do these things without knowing charts. If you want to learn the charts, go and look at the charts. The number one rule, though, don't listen to a douche on the internet. So, but CrowdStrike is an opportunity. One of the biggest opportunities, Cloudflare. Yesterday, it snapped a 6-day losing streak. And this symbol is .net. And I was listening to a trader yesterday who said this might be worth a risk because of the gap. It gapped up after earnings and may come back. If it holds the 50-day, and we're going to look at a daily because he was talking about a daily on this one. If it holds this 50-day, it is setting up for its next earnings to take it to the 115 level. That's kind of where you're looking at right here because this is the high at 116. It's since its last earnings, it's coming back. If it holds this 50-day, so the 50 days at 90. Right now you're down, it looks like about 2%. You're giving back what you got yesterday. If you hold that 50-day on the daily, then its next earnings are setting you up for the bit higher. You have this gap down here. This gap is what he's talking about. It filled this gap down to 90. And if it gains the 50-day, those Bollinger Bands are cinching up. The RSI is at 45. The MACD is right on the oscillator. This is an opportunity to maybe get this one and pop 10, 15%. It's a classic chart to look at where your Bollinger Bands are cinching up. And if you gain confirmation and it goes above that 9-day, then guess where that direction of the Bollinger Bands expanding goes? It's typically going to go higher. When the Bollinger Bands, let's see, do we have one where it goes lower? Not really. On this one, most of these are, when the Bollinger Bands cinch up, they're going higher. This is just kind of capitulation down, but you had this huge move up after earnings. That's an interesting one. One with earnings that are even closer. This is Micron. And Micron, this particular trader had set up, he said, hey, let's look at the weekly here. And the weekly has resistance going back to 2022. Nice rounded bottom. And I pointed this out, I guess, even without this trader. Nice rounded bottom. Here's the fiscal eyes. This guy says, let's see, let's look at this. This is an article that I'll include in this. This is a look at Micron's earnings. I continue to rate Micron a hold. While the memory market is increasing, I show with table 3 that its a bit growth share is eroding. On the strong growth aspects of HBMX, in 2024, I project Micron's share is just 2.9%. I give Micron the benefit of the doubt, blah, blah, blah. Only editor's note, the article discusses one or more securities that do not trade on a major U.S. exchange. That's just Samsung and stuff like that. But that might be a good opportunity. Again, this is a rounded bottom. If you see, what did he say? If it breaks out, you could see a huge run to 135 to 150. And that's what he's saying is, look at this. This is a nice cup and handle right here. You could look at it that way. Nice rounded bottom, continues to have strength on the weekly. If we go into the earnings and we look at this into earnings, if you go into earnings, which is, I think, it's tomorrow after the bell, I think. Let's see, you are down 2%. This is going with every semiconductor in the market right now. If you go into earnings where this is down, what he suggested is play the earnings. Do not buy this before the earnings. Play the earnings. Understand that when you get the earnings, if it starts moving up and it's a positive readout on it, he said play the chart and you could see a run to 135 to 150. Interesting take on it. Super interesting take, I thought. I love this. This is a quote that I saw yesterday. I really like it. If you're not losing money, you're probably not making money either. Trading is a numbers game. You win by taking risks and staying exposed. You just don't blow up in the process. That's where I'm leading you down the path of NVIDIA and SMCI. NVIDIA right now, 856, down 3%. SMCI, it's at 879. We saw a nice little bounce at the open. You've lost it. It's at 880. Again, if you can get this with an 8 or a 7, take it. For me, I have a significant position. Average purchase price, I think, is like 250, 240. I have plenty of downside on this one. I'm not getting rid of it. I do not hold this in a retirement account where I'm able to trade it. Currently, I do not. I will. I will again. I'm just waiting for some type of momentum to tell me. Right now, the algorithm's going to tell you to get out on this one today. Trading down at this level, it's going to tell you to get out of it today. But take this quote for what it is. If you're not losing money, you're not making money. Don't be afraid to lose money. Make sure that you're taking risks, but you're sizing yourself. Like we said yesterday, no matter what a woman tells you, size matters. I mean, size matters. That's what it is. Understand, if you're going to lose, cut your losses before you get back to it. A good, history of me, Sedge. I lost that one. And I held on to it, hoping, holding on to stuff and praying is not a good strategy to take. This is a great chart. Since 1985, there have been just 121 unique S&P 500 companies that historically have been able to grow sales by 20+% for 5 consecutive years out of 1,065 unique non-financial companies in total. That means 20% sales growth, 3%. 10% plus sales growth for 10 years, 11%. So you get past the 5-year mark and you get fewer and fewer. So understand, when you're in these stocks and they start exploding like this, that if they are able to do this for multiple years, they are in the outliers. They are absolutely, you have to identify which ones are the outliers. But this is a great one. I will include this in the newsletter. This is from the Daily Chart book, one that I read regularly. Just the Economy Rocket kind of pointed it out to me. But again, this was a phenomenal note to understand which stocks that you're in. These are the companies you should own, except GM. Here's the S&Ps that bought back the most shares in Q4 2023. I'll include this list in the newsletter, but Apple, number 1, Alphabet, number 2, RTX, number 3. Do not own General Motors. Yes, they bought back a ton of shares, but that is a dead company. I do not think that a car company, they're raising their price by just buying back the shares. That's the only thing. It's not a good company. Broadcom, AVGO. Meta, you want to own Exxon, fantastic company. Microsoft, perfectly fine. Visa, great company. Comcast, I don't like. I used to work for them. I'm a little bit biased in that one, so I will toss that up as I am recusing myself. NVIDIA, great company. Chevron, Lockheed Martin, Caterpillar, Marathon Petroleum, Netflix, Booking Holdings, Wells Fargo. I personally own that one. JP Morgan, T-Mobile. It's a great list. The only one that I would steer you away from is GM. That's it. Great list. I'll include that in the newsletter. Jason is having office hours today at 10. It's 9:52, 8 minutes. Jason from TrendSpider. If you are a TrendSpider user, go over there, spend some time with him after you're done with me, or just watch the replay. He does record it, so you can watch the replay. There's some earnings this week. If you want to look at them, it's on Savvy Trader. There's some that I pulled up. PDD. I like this one. Previous year revenue expected $1.60, so they're expected to grow by a lot. That could be a risky one. Micron, we talked about how to play this one. Previous year they lost $1.91. They're expected to lose 26 cents. Imagine if they come in with a positive earnings per share. Just saying. KB Homes. Previous year they came in with $1.45, expected $1.57. I expect that to be beaten. Interesting one. Nike, this in my mind, it's a dead weight stock. I mean, it's trading at $98. You could make that at 103, 104. Probably not worth the risk. FedEx, they made $3.41, expected $3.53, so they're expected to grow. Lululemon, expected $5 per share. Previous year was $4.40. This one's an interesting one. I would like to own this one more than I would like to own Nike because I do think that they're going to continue to grow. But this one has a significant breakdown going on right now. It has come down from about 500 shares to 450. It's capitulating. You can see it right there. I do think that this one right here at 400 provides some support. It broke down under its 200-day. It is down 0.34%. Again, going into earnings, you don't know where this is going to go, but the Bollinger Bands are cinching up a little bit. I like this one going into earnings, you can see. ARK Fund's futurist said Tesla is by far the most undervalued AI play. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. If you think that Tesla, Project Dojo, I do have full self-driving on my car. Full disclosure. I have full self-driving. It's not ready for prime time. I don't use it. I don't like it. I mean, I love it on the highway, hate it on the local roads. It's too stressful. It makes dumb decisions still. So I'm not a big fan of it. But again, ARK Funds, he did say from a private standpoint, Anthropic was the best private play. Ulta, I own Ulta. It's been 3 days since their earnings. We can see the stock right here it's broken down a little bit. When you get an opportunity to buy this one, I think you can buy it. Those earnings were really, really good. $5.07. You went to $8.08. So really good earnings. I think you can buy it. Okay, hold on one second. Good girl. You just sit down there. You just sit down. I know. Steve. How do I answer that one? It's different for everybody. I mean, what would I do? I'd buy a shit ton of Apple right now. I'd buy a shit ton of Google. I'd buy a shit ton of Meta under 500. I'd buy Uber. I'd buy SMCI. I would buy NVIDIA. I would buy QQQ. I would buy XLK to try and get access to stuff like that. I'd just be buying, if I had $50,000, I'd just be buying stuff for the long term. I mean, there's no you want a good mix of ETFs. You want a good mix of companies, single stocks. You want a good mix of, I don't believe in the diversify just to diversify. I think you want good companies with good products, with good earnings and good management. And I think you want to turn those over. And I think you can get exposure to some of that in ETFs. So if I had $50,000, I'd probably load it all into technology ETFs that have exposure to stuff. SMH, for semiconductors. I mean, that's a bit extended right now. I'd probably put it into let's find a ETF. If we go to Seeking Alpha, let's see, find an ETF that has LLY as its main holding. Let's just Google that. FHLC, ETFs with Eli Lilly exposure. You can look at tip ranks. IHE, exposure to Lilly. No, stop giving me ads. We're gonna there you go. VTI, which is the here. If we go to Seeking Alpha, VTI and VOO. VTI, I think, is the total stock market. Let's see, holdings. Wah, wah, wah. Eli Lilly, right there, 1.3. It's a great, total stock market, Microsoft, Apple. Take a look at that list. 3,000 holdings, though. So that's what I would do. Okay, now let me get back. Where was I? MagX. Okay. Let me hit record again. So, okay. MagX Ulta, you can buy that one. Let's look at after 3 days. MagS. MagS is a levered ETF. It is a 2 times levered ETF. I'm sorry. MagS, owner of leveraged ETF. This is the Mag7, MAGS. And it owns, here we can go and look at it, Seeking Alpha. If we go and look at the holdings, it just owns treasury bills. This is a corp swap, an Amazon swap, blah, blah, blah. You can look, it owns 55% government, 99% other. This just buys the Mag7 on a daily basis and then levers it. It's down 1.57. They launched two new ones, and they don't have charts to go really with them because they're so new. But there's MagX and MagQ. And I added both of these to the levered ETF list in TrendSpider. So the levered ETF list has MagQ. It has HSBS, HIBS. Right now, FBL, which is down 4%, which is the 2 times Meta daily. Let's see what else is down. Bulls. This is the 3 times levered FANG, an innovation list. AMDS, which is the short, 1 time short on AMD. This is up 5.6%. These are names BERZ, which is the FANG, an innovation, 3 times levered on the downside. That one is up 4%. There is one that is up 6%. It is TSDD. This is the inverse, 2 times inverse of Tesla. So these are great ones if you're looking to trade on a daily basis. This is it. But MagX and MagQ, 2 ones that I put in there. Let's look at social requests. Travis from Facebook, ACLS. He asked this is the bottom. Your guess is as good as mine. But since you asked yesterday, no, it wasn't a bottom because we're down 1.67%. Axelis Technologies, ACLS, I don't even know what these guys do. They do make money, so that's the good news. It's a semiconductor chip company. I mean, here's the thing, and I think somebody's asked me about this one before. ACLS. Does anybody like this? I mean, let's look real quick at the hey, there's a lot of buys here from Seeking Alpha analysts. It's at performance of the quant says sell, but Wall Street says buy at 4.25. They have a price target, it looks like, of 159, which is 50% upside. I don't know. I mean, is it a bottom? Look at the weekly chart. You're not even at the 200-day. So you have no possible, and we talked about this in 5 months, you're down 37%. That's even further extended. We talk about confirmation a lot, okay? There's no confirmation on this chart. None. We can move that over. There is a couple of weeks where you could have thought that you had confirmation right here, January 22nd, around 133. Kind of faked you out. But I just, again, I don't like this one. I mean, I just don't. For a semiconductor stock, I mean, look at you're not even at the 200-day. The 50 days just starting to roll over on the weekly. So are we at a bottom? I don't think so, but I don't know the company. I don't know why it's going down like that. So I do your research, just look at it. William Morgan from Spotify, the length of yesterday I went off on a rant about how the podcast is meant to be a little bit longer, but the newsletter is shorter. So here, let's get ready for the rebuttals. William Morgan, the length of the runtime complaint is insane. I would listen to a 2-hour podcast, and no one is forcing that person to listen. Listen to it at 1.8 times and stop whining. You are great. Thank you, William. Shep, it's not that long of a podcast. Sounds like a douche on the internet. Thank you, Shep. Noah, you mentioned RGR the other week, and I got made fun. I mentioned RGR the other week, and I got made fun of. Since then, I'm up 7% on my portfolio. RGR, let's look at it. I mean, here's the thing, Noah. You're a guy who comes out here and asks a guy on the internet about a stock and then expects me to tell you, oh my God, it's fantastic. RGR is Sturm Ruger and Company. You're asking a guy who's plant-based for compassion purposes, who doesn't own a gun, has never shot a gun, doesn't like guns, doesn't even invest in the defense companies for the reason that they are, again, it's defense is offense for me. That's all that means. We are just different people. So if you're a guy who's asking me about a gun company, I'm going to tell you it's not good. You know who else is going to tell you it's not good? It is Seeking Alpha. I haven't looked at this, but let's look at it. Oh, Quant says sell, Wall Street says buy, 34% upside. The price target is going down. The actual stock price seems to be going down, 7%. I don't think I made fun of you. I said it's not my thing. I don't own guns, and I said trade it. That's what I believe. Also, since you are up 7%, Noah, I will expect you to go to my link tree right here, and you will gift me through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. You know why? Because you're playing Inverse Gary. And if you're playing Inverse Gary, where I am always wrong, then you're always right. You owe me money because you're playing my picks. Again, my thing, no, I didn't mean to make fun of you. If I made fun of you, it's not something that I mean to do. Just this, if you wanted to let's just look at this, okay? When you asked me about RGR, let's look at the charting, okay? Let's just select a symbol. Let's say you want to invest like me, and something that I would suggest you invest in, okay? Apple, 1 year. RGR is down 17%. I'm not making fun of you. I'm pointing this out. I can't tell you where a stock is going to go. I am not Nostradamus, Noah. So year to date, let's look. Is RGR beating Apple? Maybe. RGR's up 0.92. Apple's down 9.77%. Fine. Which one would I rather own this year? Obviously, RGR. That's obvious. But I own a shit ton of Apple. Am I upset at that? No. You know why? Look at the 1 year. Look at the 3 year. Let's keep going. 3-year, 44%. RGR down 33%. You still think I'm done, Noah? You still think you're right? No. Apple, 273% over 5 years. RGR, 3%. Boy, your money's really working for you there. 812% over 10 years. Again, Noah, I don't know where the stock is going to go. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just pointing out to you, nobody believes in this stock. If you want to make 7% on your money in a week, fantastic. Go and get the gun company. I'm not going to stop you. Nobody's going to say, hey, don't do it. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to regret it in the long term. If you sit there and hold that one, you are going to regret it in the long term. Lou Dogs from Spotify. Gary, I listen to you while at work. I look forward to it daily. Thank you, Lou Dog. Charles, my name is Charles. I'm just getting back into purchasing stocks. I don't know where the hell you went. And the one I would like your input on is Archer Aviation. Oh, God. This is the flying car, I think. Archer Aviation, ACHR. I think this is the flying car company. I don't know enough about this one, but let's take a look. The algorithm, it makes you 40% versus buying and holding makes you 8.9%. Still not bad for 24 months, making 8.9% for a company that I guess may not be making money. But let's see what ACHR, let's see. Yeah, they're losing $457 million. They have $1.52. Let's just look. What's $1.52 times 265 million?
The answer is $9.12.
Oh, wait. What is $1.52 times 265 million?
The answer is $402,800,000.
So they have 402 million of cash, but they only have 457 million of income. Or I'm sorry, they're losing 457 of income. So you're going to get diluted. I mean, you're going to get diluted unless they start turning a profit. You're going to get diluted. They have sales, zero sales. I don't know enough about the stock. I don't want to tell you, I don't want you coming back and being Noah that, oh my God, he told me not to get into this one. Archer Aviation, let's look at this one. Let's look at the summary to see what it's a hold in the quant, a buy in Wall Street. Profitability is an F. They're not making money. Archer, this is a buy. I mean, if you want to see Wall Street, let's look at the average target price. 97% upside. It's $9.36. I don't know. I mean, for me, not my thing. Not my thing at all. I mean, this is Charles. If you're just getting back into stocks, pick a core portfolio stock. Uber at 74. It's going to be an $80 stock. Pick Shopify at 76. Going to be an $80 stock. Roblox at 36. That's going to go over 40 at some point in time again. Palantir at 23. That's going to be a $25 stock. You can pick that one up. Palo Alto Networks at 279. That's a $300 stock. NVIDIA at 858. That's going to be a $1,000 stock at some point. Even SMCI at 878. That's going to be back to $1,000. Netflix at 611. That's going to be a $700 stock. Meta, 486. That's going to go back over 500. Lilly is down at 761. I think it's going to be an $800 stock. Goldman Sachs, $385. That's going to go over 400. Let's keep going. Costco, 732. That's a $750 stock. Probably 800 when they announce a membership increase. Boeing at 180. This one becomes very interesting at 180. Amazon, 175. It's going to go up over 180. You can buy that one. Apple at 174. That's a $200 stock. I mean, Archer Aviation, if you want to trade it, I would say trade it. Do not think that you are going to be smarter than anybody on Wall Street and buy this one. And then at $1, you're risking your money. This is just a risk. They have zero sales. And I don't know enough about the company, but just wait until they have some type of something to bring it back. I mean, look at this one. It was up at, was this a SPAC? This might have been a SPAC. Just wait. I mean, you don't want to buy this at 4 and have it go down to 2. You want to buy this at 2 and have it go to 4. But without income, it's not supposed to do that. So it's all hype. So Charles, if you're just getting back into it, understand, just go into something. Lauren wants me to look at EVgo. What a dumpster of a company. I am not a fan of this stock at all, Lauren. Not one bit. EVgo, this is a charging, if I'm not mistaken. It's a specialty retail. Let's see. Is this the one? Provision of electric vehicles charging station. What a shit show. I mean, just absolute shit show. They lose $42 million. They have cash on hand of $1.98. That's about $200 million. So they'll still be around. Just a shit show. I mean, they're losing $42 million. No reason to get into this. None. Double bottom here at $2. You're at $2.42. The average target price, $5.67. Most recently, just beginning of March, $5 to $4. You're trading at $2.42. They reduced, RBC reduced it from $5 to $4. I just, again, wait until they make money. There's no reason to just not wait until they make money. I mean, that's when you look at a company and you don't have to have Seeking Alpha. You don't have to have premium. Finviz is free. Go to this website, Finviz. Look up the company. If they are losing money, my suggestion, do not invest in them. Do not invest in them. The reason being, you are at a higher for longer interest rate environment. The Fed meets today. It's announced tomorrow. They most likely will not reduce rates. Higher for longer hurts a company that is in debt. It's just like people. You think people with no debt are hurt by higher interest rates? No. It's the people who are in debt who are hurt by higher interest rates. So companies who are in debt are hurt by higher interest rates. Higher for longer hurts these companies. Find a good company like Costco, like Walmart, that's not in debt, like Apple that has tons of money to go out there and partner with Google. That's a big freaking deal. Partnering with Google on Gemini. So understand that's what you're looking at. EVgo, I am an EV driver. This is a shit show of a company. The only charging network that is worth investing in is Tesla. And Tesla's charging network is part of the Tesla stock, which ironically, let me go. I come from Land of Lizards. With apps these days, we can listen to the whole show throughout the day, as I definitely do. Great show. Thank you, Land of Lizards. But let's go to Tesla, because I don't want you investing in EVgo. I'd rather have you investing in Tesla. Yes, it's more expensive. EVgo has not made money. Tesla is making money. Yes, Tesla has some problems. At 173, it got you in. It's trading at 169. I would not invest in Tesla right now, Lauren, but it's a much better investment than EVgo. In my mind, it's a significantly better investment than EVgo. Doesn't mean that EVgo may not go to $4, but at least you're investing in something that's making money. And if they can turn some of their projects to positive, again, Tesla is going to make a ton of money off their charging network. That's a huge one. Netflix got a cross up here. We talked about this one. This one gets a cross up. It's in this run. From 489, it just got another cross up here. And so it's a solid move in the algorithm. Disney, who was it yesterday? George Lucas, I think, came out in favor of Bob Iger. Gave it a little boost, 0.5%. I think if you hold this one, you're fine. I think you're probably touching 105 again. This one is just kind of coming down on the MACD. Hasn't really come down on the stock price. It's just settled. So it's putting in a nice floor here at 113, maybe a $120 stock. SPG, which is Simon Property Group, which is an interesting one. With the strength of the consumer, these guys have been putting in this nice little narrow band here. 151.92 is the buy. I think this one is setting up for a higher price. I honestly do. It's not crazy to think that this one gets back to the 160s or 170s. Simon Property Group, we can look at this one real quick. Simon Property Group, average target price 155. You're trading at 152. In December, Morgan Stanley downgraded them, 143. The PE's 21. The dividend, fantastic dividend. 5.14. Let's go over to Seeking Alpha and let's see what Wall Street says of SPG. SPG, 1.5% upside. Again, if you have a 1%, but you're getting a 5% dividend, consistency grade D+ on the dividend, but the yield is B-. It's ranked in its industry 9 out of 22. The number one in specialty retailers, in retail REIT stocks, is NTST. NTST, let's see. NTST, strong buy. It's a buy, specialty retailer. So I like that one. Energy name that got a cross up is Venom, Viper. I always call it Venom. But Viper Energy, solid move here. You had the 50-day moving positive, 36.58. Look at that MACD crossing up. Look at where it got to before. And look at the stock price at 38. I mean, you could be going to 40 on this one. Solid company. I think this one's a solid company that has just performed really, really well. One that came up is ALB, ANF, ANET, Arista Network. This is one that I think a lot of people wanted to get into. ANET is down 5% today, but it did get a cross up yesterday and it got you in at 287. It's at 273. I do think that you're putting in this nice little capitulation right here. If we look at the support lines, there's gaps all around here. That 261 is the VWAP from the earnings from November 28th. That's the earnings before the last earnings. So you're putting in this nice little capitulation where your VWAP at 260 is the support level. If you want this at 273, you're right in the middle of this range. So in my mind, I think you just buy this one if you want to get into this name. It's expensive. Understand it's expensive. We talked about on being an under $30 price target. This one's put its capitulation in. It's filled that gap. 33.31. This is a buy up here. It is expensive. The MACD has come down, so we're crossing up again. And finally, Citibank. There's a bunch of others, leveraged ETFs on Tesla that you can buy. I'll put them in the newsletter. But this is just a story that just continues to grow. Citibank, I own Wells Fargo, I own Bank of America, I own a lot of this stuff. So I think I've gone on long enough. I'm going to go. Dog is barking. It is now 10:21. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Again, 3 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be interviewing Steve Kress from Seeking Alpha, the Alpha Picks, quant guy. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Mark, he's going to say yes. I do have a question into him. Your performances have been phenomenal, impressive. If someone were to join Alpha Picks today, how should they build their portfolio? Should we focus on the winners, the recent picks? Is there a danger in going into the ones that have already run? If we had $5,000 to put into Alpha Picks, is there a percentage you would suggest putting towards certain picks like the recent picks? If you look at Alpha Picks, I can just go over here and look at it. Alpha Picks. If we go to the About, and there's a section. How can subscribers get going with Alpha Picks? Buy at least 5 strong buys, rated Alpha Picks from our existing portfolio. Buy the entire portfolio using the allocations in the portfolio tab. Use Alpha Picks as an idea generation tool. Read the analysis of each pick and choose the stocks that suit your strategy. So that's what he would say. I can ask him about. What I'll do is I'll copy yours. Copy. Let's see. Oh no. Let me just take a picture real quick. Oh, I might get that out of there. Okay. I got your question in there. Varun, Brad Freeman just started buying Sentinel yesterday, I think is what he started buying it at. He started adding to his position. I don't think it's horrible, but algorithm got you out with a loss right before the earnings. I do think that you probably get back up here to 27. Varun. Costco's a good one. I started buying at $730. Ryan. So, okay, I'm going to go put these together because I got to get my day started. I got started late. Sorry about that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today. And yes, I was on fire. I would start buying SMCI. I'm serious about that. I may look at it. I am going to wait until we have some type of confirmation on the chart. But I don't think, if you pull this volume back to these earnings in November, your VWAP is at 655. If you pull the volume forward to this earnings, we're going to pull it right there. The VWAP is at 878, or I'm sorry, 838. Okay. I got to run.